question everything.
Trust nothing.
It's your boys, Keeper and Crusader. We are here on a beautiful Tuesday. Well, as always, it's Ohio, so it's not so beautiful here. It's probably beautiful in Miami. Miguel can brag about that. I'm sure it is. But yeah, hello. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Smash that like. It's YouTube. You know what to do. Smash the like. Get involved in everything we're doing. We've got all sorts of different socials out there. You know what it is. Twitter. Let's give it a follow.
And hit that bell notification. Remember that. Make sure you get
a lot of people have been talking about not getting the bell notification. So make sure that yours is actually clicked so that YouTube can let you know, hey, your boys are on. I do want to throw out there in the chat. Mr. Evanchick says, why so early? Isn't the stream normally at like 7? Mr. Evanchick, you watch enough to know we switched to 3 p.m. So I'm going to guess that you are trolling me at this very moment. But we're glad that you're here anyway. Biomex in the house. Brett, as I said, Michael is in the house. Hopefully everybody is doing well. Let's get into it. Let's have some fun. First of all, yesterday went really well. Had some fun with Mr. Noble. Anything that I missed besides your beautiful skin tone and your beard looking fantastic? Anything I missed that we need to be made aware of from yesterday?
No, man. Optimism is one of those projects that a lot of people are talking about right now and keeping an eye on. And it's going to be a competitor for Polygon. So we'll see how that plays out in this next year or so, and especially moving into this bull run where it's going to be.
Yeah. There's a lot of new projects. We keep talking about this being the utility bull run. There's a lot of new projects that are coming onto the scene or maybe have been on the scene. This is where having some technical prowess, some technical know-how is a fantastic thing, because there's probably a lot of guys that understand how some of this technology works, and they're able to get kind of ahead of the game. This is why we tell you to DYOR, do your own research. If you know a little something, you might be able to get ahead of the game. So, hey, we're not here for financial advice. We're here to just give you some entertainment and have some fun. So let's get into it. Let's do that. Let's take a look at the markets first, and then we'll move forward from there. So the global crypto market cap is, let's not start off with Shiba, because that's what it is pulled there from the other day. Looking at SHIB. We want to look at the global market cap, which is, sorry about that, 1.07 trillion with the T dollars. I don't know if this is correct, but it definitely says it's up 0.00%. So apparently we are at a dead standstill. Bitcoin down 0.01 at 23,237. ETH up just a hair, $1,625. BNB around that 300 number. And then rolling on through the rest of the top 10. Pretty boring stuff. Polygon Matic down almost 1%. And
who are the top gainers and top losers for the day?
The top gainers are,
hit that 24-hour percent sign.
Where's the
24-hour? Hit that.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, Singularity Net.
Singularity.
That's one of the AI coins. I heard there was something coming. There was like a rumor by Elon Musk, and then Singularity Net also working with Cardano, and it's been pumping apparently. Wow.
Yeah, and then Immutable X, obviously getting into the gaming. It's not a surprise. I mean, these are two.
Blocks. Undead Blocks. We're gonna be talking about it today. Just released on Immutable X.
Yeah, I'm super excited about what they are doing over there. We will get into that here in just a little bit. But the gaming sector, the AI sector, these are definitely spots to be paying attention to in the crypto space, short term, long term, whatever. First of all, real quick, just as a reminder, we're giving away vests. What are we at right now? Let's do a little check here.
I believe we are 1151.
1151. I'm updating and just double checking to make sure. Drum roll, please. Yeah. We are at 1151. So we need 49 more mints before we're going to give away a
DCA vest.
DCA vest with the patch, all that good stuff on it. They're 0.01 each, bullets, beans, and bourbon. We are excited to not only be giving away the vest, but we got the 5 Ethereum competition happening. Guys, things have been a little bit slow, and that's just kind of how things have been. But I'm telling you right now, we think we have a little solution in the pipeline for you. So just stand by for that.
And the pretty cool thing is that these vests, right, they're not a cosplay item, right? They're not like, oh, this is a cool little costume. No, like this actually has utility. Like this has actual, you can put plates into it. You can do, you can attach some with Velcro and some other stuff. You can put on your first aid kit on the back. You can do a lot of different things with this. So it has real life utility, and you can actually be in a life and death situation wearing one of these one day. And
Yeah.
you got it from minting some beans, bullets, and bourbon at 0.01, which is what, like $16 right now.
Yep. And if you are dealing with anything like Great Guy has seen a UFO spaceship over my house, who thinks it's a game? You can wear your vest just to make sure those aliens
You might
aren't.
need more than a vest for that
I'm gonna
situation.
tell you what, you might need a pair of trousers too, because I heard that they like to probe. So you might want to put something. Yep. Might want to cover up the old sphincter. So. All right, cool. Let's get into it. Let's take a look at let's get into these into what's happening in and around the crypto space. There is a lot going on. What do you want to kick off with some Yuga Labs? A little bit of fun there.
Let's get it. Come on.
Let's do that. Let me pull up. Where is the aha? Here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh shoot, I was too far down on the article. I was trying to thought I had all of these all set up.
I think that's the wrong article.
Is it? I thought you wanted to start with the. I thought you want to start with the. Oh, you want to start with Dookie Dash?
Hold that thought. I didn't even think this was even on here.
Well, that's definitely one of the articles that pulled up from what I had. Okay, cool. We'll kill that. Let's start off with this one. Got it. I'll pull up Dookie Dash. We'll start with that. My apologies, crypto fam. I apparently had the wrong one pulled up. Here we go. All right, so winning Dookie Dash key NFT sells to a billionaire for $1.63 million in Ethereum. Fortnite esports star Mongrel has accepted 1,000 Ethereum bid for his NFT after achieving the high score on Yuga Labs game. So there's a little bit more to this story, but effectively, this player's name's Kyle Mongrel. Kyle Mongrel Jackson sold to some NFT billionaire entrepreneur. His name's Adam Weitzman. He bought it for 1,000 Ethereum. It was a key. He won the Dookie Dash
thing.
Docs?
Is the winner, is not the winner, but is the buyer of that 1,000 ETH bid a doxed person? Like, we know who it is.
Yeah, his name's Adam Weitzman. He's a billionaire. Yeah,
sounds like a fake identity.
Yeah, well, hey, who knows? It's the NFT space. You never know. But it had previously listed the key for 3,333 Ethereum, which is equivalent to about 5.43 million. The creators of Dookie Dash, which is obviously Yuga Labs, get 5% in royalties, which would be about 50 ETH. I mean, think about this. Just this dude selling, right? This is the beauty of royalties in the NFT space. Think about if this was like a private, artist. Something resells, hey, a piece of art just sold for $1 million, which is a crazy amount of money, right? But you had already sold it. Now it's selling again. Quick 81K. No big deal. So I don't know. Dude, I love wild. What's happening here.
It's wild, right? Because a lot of people don't even know what Dookie Dash is, but it was a free game that Yuga Labs released that only holders were allowed to get access to and play. They had the whole sewer pass, right? And there were people were buying and selling those passes to get access to the game, and they were playing. Only one person got to win. Apparently, this esport guy took the win, got the highest score. It's like a little survival game going through a tunnel, trying to dodge a bunch of items. Got the key. Nobody knows what the key's for, but obviously knowing Yuga Labs, it's going to be about something important down the line in the future. And dude, it's unbelievable that they literally sold. That person was able to sell it for 1,000 ETH. I think, to be honest, it was Yuga Labs. It was an inside trade. I think it was an inside trade, right? That's just my conspiracy theory, for the simple fact that who in the right mind will spend $1.6 million on one NFT when you don't even really know what it does? It is a key that came out of a monkey's butt, right?
I'm going to tell you.
This is a key that came out of a monkey's butt. Okay, I understand Yuga Labs, right? They do a lot of cool stuff, right? Bored apes are worth a lot. But $1.6 million for something that you don't even know, like, what if this opens the key and behind that key, when that opens up, you get a high five?
Yeah. You know what? The high five still comes with it. The fact that you've got the key. You are the billionaire. Some of these people that have these very high
million
listen.
dollars.
Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
I saw this recently, and it's a terrible. I do not think that this ever makes something worth it. But if you break this down, just to give you an example, I saw a TikTok that recently was talking about a $50,000 hamburger. Okay. Now, the idea of buying a $50,000 hamburger is absolute, utter insanity. No one should ever do that as far as I'm concerned. It is spending money to spend money. Same thing like spending $1.63 million on this key, right? It is a flex. It is saying, I am able to do this. But when you break it down, when you break this down, the 50,000, and I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head with this billionaire because I don't know how many billions he's worth or whatever.
Or if he's even real.
Right, exactly. Depending on if he is real and how many billions he's worth, they were comparing it to someone who was worth he made $100 million within a year's time. And he broke that down into a massive amount of hours worked per week. And effectively, he was making more than $50,000 an hour. So the burger that he bought for 50 grand is effectively the same as the $12 burger that somebody on somebody that's working minimum wage at just a regular store, whatever. It's the same kind of feeling like, hey, I buy a burger for $12. He buys a burger for 50K. It doesn't hurt his value, his net worth. And the ultimate idea here is plain and simple. I can do it. You can't. I have the key. You don't. I bought the burger. You can't. That's it. It's literally just a stupid flex.
I put a poll out there. I want to see people's idea. Was this an inside trade by Yuga, right? Because this is what gets headlines, right? Now you got people like us talking about it and debating it. People are like, holy smokes, $1.6 million for one NFT.
I'm with it.
The average person is going to then go, wait a minute. If I can get myself a Bored Ape, or if I can get myself the next whatever NFT they drop, which we're going to be covering here pretty soon here. They're doing another NFT project here on Bitcoin ordinals. People start automatically saying, well, maybe I can be that lucky winner to get that one NFT that is worth close to or above $1.6 million and change my life overnight. So just imagine, right, how much ETH, right, how much trading volume they have on OpenSeas, how much royalties they're making, how much money they have allocated for marketing. They can say, hey, let's throw out 1,000 ETH, right? We'll give it to somebody that within our reach. They'll make the purchase. They're not gonna get the ETH back, but nonetheless, they get the news out there and they get the story going, and it just gets wild. And that's what I would do. That's what I would do if I was Yuga Labs. That would be genius.
And it's a great idea, and I could absolutely get on board with it. The other side of it is, again, maybe this is a no-name billionaire that wants to be a named billionaire and wants to put it same type of idea. This is a marketing ploy to put himself out there, something that he got a part of. So I could see it. I would never take the stance of just flat out arguing. There's no way that Yuga Labs would do that, because absolutely it makes sense. Spend $1 million. You would spend that probably on some sort of an advertising, gig anyway. And hey, you know what? It makes a lot of sense. So smash that like, crypto fam. If you haven't already, make sure to smash the like. Make sure you're following us on all of our socials, not just on here. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Twitter. Make sure you're in the Discord. Danger Close Alpha is needing some new blood. We need some new people to come in, have some fun with some education. May is coming up quickly. So the event, May 12th through the 14th. If you're not already involved with a bug out bag, jump into the Discord, find out more about that. What's Sean saying here?
Sean's saying Yuga Labs is doing so many interesting things that the Bored Apes might not be so bored anymore.
Yeah, they might not be. And they're wealthy also. They're definitely that. So we'll see. Well, Yuga Labs got more going on than that. So we also, and I don't have the article pulled up here, so I'm going to talk you through it. So NFTs from Yuga Labs are now on Bitcoin. Okay.
Well,
I'll listen.
They're creating another collection. Do you have the article?
I don't. I thought I did, but you said that I had the wrong article. So I've got all the info for it. I don't have the actual article to pull. If you want to show it on screen, I'll talk through it. But Yuga Labs, the creator of Bored Ape Yacht Club, will launch its first ever Bitcoin-based NFT project called Twelvefold. Twelvefold will consist of a 300 limited edition generative art pieces inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain. And it is one of the highest profile launches using ordinals, a recently launched way of committing artwork and media, which we've talked about recently, to Bitcoin by permanently attaching each to an individual Satoshi. Crusader walked us through this before. Literally, they're attaching NFTs to each and every. They're able to basically stamp individual Satoshis. The project was designed and created by Yuga Labs' in-house art team, consists of 12 by 12 grids that combine 3D graphics and hand-drawn features. Unlike their previous offerings, which live on the Ethereum blockchain, Twelvefold has no connection to its Ethereum-based IP and will have no future interactions or utility in that
look
regard.
at this picture. Look at this picture of what they look like. This is a cropped image of what they look like. It's a bunch of like pattern bubbles. It's called 12-fold. I have no idea what these things are. Maybe these are the farts, bubble farts from the monkey that pooped out
monkey bubble farts.
The key. I mean, I have no idea. I think they're doing this as a testament to see what their reach is like in the Bitcoin network, and if it does work out and it does well for them, then maybe they'll start transitioning some of the assets on over to Bitcoin. But I don't know. I don't think so in the long term, for the simple fact that the ordinal system is so new. They're doing a lot of they do a lot of games and a lot of token gating stuff. It's hard to do any of that with Bitcoin ordinals. So unless they're going to get some type of prize, maybe give away some different collections, I don't know. But this 12-fold thing, it could be something huge, right? Look at the Bored Apes; they were huge. I didn't think they were going to be huge, but in my honest opinion, I'm confused. I'm confused. That's the best I can say about these 12-fold art collection.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, we're super looking forward to meeting you as well, Billy. Billy's talking about the May event. Says he's going to be there, going to be around for about a week. Got a car. Heck yeah, we're going to have some fun.
Let's go.
I don't know that I would say I'm confused, but I do understand that this is one of those issues, and we've talked about this before, kind of those too big to fail. And once you become that, that company, that project, that, you're able to do things that other people aren't. So they are able to effectively, let's toss some money into a Bitcoin project. Let's see what we can do here. Let's be the first to do this as well. Let's be the gold standard for this. I think it's just being that first to the party. It's being the first to market. It's being the one that everyone's talking about. It's being the one that debate crypto and other channels are talking about on a freaking YouTube. That's effectively what's happening here, right? I don't know. I don't see it any other way. I think they're marketing themselves in a way that separates themselves from others. They're going to be the first to do this, or they're going to be the best to do this, or they were the best over in the Ethereum space on Bored Apes and have the most expensive, freaking crazy numbers on their NFTs. So why would they not be worth money over on Bitcoin? So of course they're going to sell and they're going to do well over here.
But they're not Bored Apes, right? They're these weird things that are.
But they not?
Are not even attached to
Bored Apes. Weren't Bored Apes, right?
Right, but now they have a whole brand of Bored Apes right now in every NFT project that comes, every collection that drops from there is somewhat tied to the Bored Apes.
That's what I'm saying. It has value.
But as I'm saying, the 12-fold and the art on it plus the name has no branding recognition outside of, hey, Yuga Labs is producing this, but it's not like it's not attached to the Bored Ape brand.
Maybe that was purposeful.
Oh, I'm sure. So if it flops, it's not a harm, right? It's not a stain on the Bored Ape name.
Oh, it's a protective measure.
Yeah, because Yuga Labs, right, is the parent company.
Yeah.
The big brand is Bored Apes. If 12-fold is a big poop, right, then it doesn't matter. Bored Apes keep moving forward like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, that's not a bad thought. I could definitely see that. Just basically, hey, let's attach ourselves so that we can do really well, and they'll let us know. But then if this goes really bad, let's make sure we still have some degree of separation. Yeah, I could definitely see it. So yeah, there's as always in the NFT space, there's a million things going on. And normally what you see is Ethereum that is, that's the number one in terms of the NFT space. And there's been a lot of stuff going on in the Ethereum ecosystem recently, and we're going to actually get on to a couple Ethereum. Let me see, where is it? I want to make sure I pull up the right one here.
By the way, the results are back from the poll.
90%
of people, 90% of people believe that it was an inside trade by Yuga.
They believe that it was an inside trade by Yuga. But gave a billionaire's name that you could effectively look up.
Hey, maybe they're friends.
Maybe. This says that ETH whales have been on a buying spree. Top Ethereum whales have been buying up ETH, obviously, with their collective.
Share your screen?
I thought I was. God, I'm really,
no, sir.
I'm really missing the mark today. All right, let's try this again.
It's the chemicals, man. It's the chemicals.
Here you go. Right here. Ethereum whales shake off market uncertainty and break a 7-year accumulation record. Okay, so as we get into this article, effectively, there's a bunch of whales that have been buying up a bunch of Ethereum. Their balances are reaching a new 7-year high, over 25 million Ethereum. The last time these top 10 non-exchange addresses held this much ETH was in 2016, when the price of the asset exploded over 1,000%. The upcoming Ethereum Shanghai upgrade in March, which will enable withdrawals, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, for staked ETH, could have implications for the crypto market, but it remains to be seen whether these will be positive or negative. Do you think that it's a positive or a negative or a net just kind of whatever for the crypto markets, that there are 10 whales effectively that hold 25 million Ethereum, which is an insane amount of freaking money?
Well, there's 25 individuals out there that really believe in Ethereum. That's probably more than that's probably more than.
Here we go. Couldn't hear you.
It is what it is. But I mean, this just goes to show you Ethereum, right? People are planning ahead of time. People know that the burning mechanism of Ethereum is going to make Ethereum more and more scarce in the future, even though prices right now are kind of a little bit higher than most people feel comfortable with. At the end of the day, by the end of this decade, in the next 2 cycles, next 2 halving events for Bitcoin, Ethereum is going to be built upon more, right? There's going to be more dApps, more layers attached to it, more burning mechanisms, burning more ETH away, making ETH a lot more scarce than what it is right now. There's 25 whales that are betting on it, right? They don't need to buy any more. They're already whales. Why do they need more, right? They can go buy another asset, right? But they're doubling down on their investment because they're seeing what is happening here with the value that is going to be very difficult to accumulate a lot of ETH in the future. So,
man, I look at even the small amount of ETH that I've been able to accumulate over the years, and I look at the amount of money that I've put into Ethereum versus where I've seen it at its height versus where it is now. Now, mildly a roller coaster ride, okay? Seeing some freaking feeling good, not feeling so good, and then somewhere in between. That being said, though, how did that start? Well, it started with a belief in the asset back when it was $200 ish, and believe that, hey, I'm going to continue to dollar cost average into this. We talk about it a lot. We're not here to give you investment advice, but one of the things that we have done personally over time has just been believed in top tier projects, believed in certain assets, and taken our time and accumulated those assets, whether they're Bitcoin, Ethereum, something different, kind of looking at more the blue chips. Well, though you're not going to get 1,000x on Ethereum tomorrow, you over time with that patience can really have some big moves. So altcoins in general, you're going to have bigger swings, but you need to be prepared. And this is why we tell you to do your research. You need to be prepared for those swings to the downside as well. And so what's the moral of the story here? The moral of the story is know what the heck you're buying, find what you believe in, because it will give you the conviction to hold on to that asset when things get a little rocky. Because I got to tell you, it is kind of disheartening to see a portfolio go from, when ETH was at 5K, and then I saw it down at 800 not too long ago, right? Massive, massive swings in what a larger, that portfolio looks like. So you need to have conviction, or you'll scare yourself right out of the market.
Yeah, dude, it's just one of those things that, it's just how you handle your portfolio, right? Like during these uncertain times, right, where prices going up, down, bear market, people are calling the bear market over, other people calling the bear market is only going to get worse, right? I'm not going to be out here, and I said it around the blockchain. It was basically, hey, I don't have time to be searching up the latest AI coin, the latest whatever coin and be, finding what exchange it's on, transferring money over there, buying some of it, holding on to it, paying attention to the price actually, because in a split of a second it fires off, and in a split of a second it's back down. So I don't have time for that. I'm doubling down on the assets that I'm familiar with. I'm doubling down on the assets that I already hold, because I've already done the research. I already understand them, which is part of what some of these whales are probably doing as well. And just accumulating that, and when the markets pop off and the top coins that I'm invested in pop off, then I can take some profits, and then I'll take some risk on that profit, right? Because it's a moon bag. I'm not losing any money. Those are profits that I'm playing with, and then risk it on some more riskier altcoins that might have some bigger moves later in the bull run. But for now, I don't got the time, and I'm just sticking to what I know.
There's a reason that Danger Close Alpha is on Ethereum. We talked this through. We could have done something maybe that felt a little bit more gimmicky, and went with like a weird blockchain, right? Just kind of pick something like I see Crypto Billy saying Miguel's gonna be buying more XRP. It seems good to see that. Shout out to Billy. Keep it coming. And so we could have done something like that, right? Like it would have been fantastic to have put, Danger Close Alpha on XRP Ledger. I mean, Crusader would have been pumped about that, right? And
let me tell you, if I buy XRP, you know that it's bad, because the chemicals from Ohio have reached down to South Florida and have affected my brain.
Affected your brain chemistry. Yeah. And so what am I getting at? I'm getting at there. We believed in Ethereum from the start. That's part of why we're doing Danger Close Alpha on Ethereum, because we believe in what Ethereum's doing long term. We also understood, hey, there's not going to be as big of swings in Ethereum, and when you look at the grand, so does that limit the amount of capital? Sure, it does, but at the same time, it's also an asset that's going to continue to up and to the right over the long term. We believe in it, and it's going to continue to boom. And speaking of Ethereum and games, we were talking about stacking Ethereum. We've been talking about the AI space, gaming space. We've got some stuff going on over with a potential partner of ours. Still waiting to hear back. I don't want to announce it officially, but we have some information, that we have. Where, let me see here.
Yeah, we're in the works, right? We're having conversations with this team to possibly get some of our, assets into their game. And it'd be pretty cool. It's a cool partnership. Whether our ecosystems are very similar. Obviously, they're more gaming focused, but they're in the survival, zombie killing game, and we are in the survival real life game. So it matches pretty well. And they're launching their game, or they did launch their game, I believe, maybe yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday, dude. I don't know what or how these got. Like something. Here it is. Okay, cool. Ex-Goldman Sachs analyst release kill to earn zombie game, Undead Blocks on Immutable X. So we were just talking about a possible partnership we have had private talks with, and we can't give you really too much more information than that, but with Undead Blocks. And build is the Mario Kart meets Call of Duty Zombies. Undead Blocks is a cross-platform shoot 'em up with guns as NFTs. This is a kind of a shot right here of what the game really does look like. You can play it in its you were playing in its beta form. I don't know, Crusader, are you saying that it's officially out as of yesterday?
I believe so.
Okay. We've been in talks with them, and yesterday's date, because today's the 20, or maybe that's today. I feel like the 28th was at any event, today, yesterday, within the next day, this is going live. So Undead Blocks is a first person shooter. You earn rewards by shooting zombies and collecting, pay attention, collecting items randomly generated on the battlefield. It'd be cool if you could collect random items of, like, I don't know, other NFT projects or something. It'd be pretty sweet. The game's designed to be easy to play and addicting. It's cross-platform with support for PC, Mac, and mobile game cloud gaming. Players can earn Z-Bucks, which is the game's token, by playing the game and redeem it for Ethereum or Immutable X's IMX token, among other things. Z-Bucks can be traded on Uniswap and can be used to purchase in-game weapons and characters and cosmetics. So they've got a governance token called Undead, which you can basically acquire and then stake and lock up and earn more Z-Bucks or more NFTs. dude, there is a lot. I don't have to tell you this, but everybody that's listening, there's a lot happening in the Undead Blocks ecosystem. We love what they're doing there. They have just it's freaking fun. If you haven't played it, it is a fun sit down first person shooter.
It's free to play.
It's free to play, and you can literally, genuinely, got a little bit of downtime, whatever, bored, earn some NFTs. Downtime, boom, earn some Z-Bucks. Boom, downtime. So you can effectively, it's probably the first of what I've seen play to earn game that and listen, this is not sponsored by Undead Blocks. I'm just throwing it out there. It's probably the first little play to earn fun game that I've seen. And this is why we're in talks with them. That looks like just like a fun
man,
way to earn some NFTs and money. You know what I mean?
Exactly. A lot of NFT projects do it wrong, and they make games super expensive to get involved with, and you have to buy all these NFTs, and it costs you thousands of dollars to get play, right? And I've done that, right? I played Zed Run for a long time, and those horses were not cheap, man. They were expensive.
Pinky right? Smalls, baby.
That's right.
Most losingest horse ever.
The best.
Should have shot that horse. Taken the horse out back and shot that horse.
Greatest horse I've ever bought, my friend. Lost a ton, but
lost a lot.
But let me tell you, when it came in clutch, dude. It would take those wins
one time.
A few times, a handful of times.
Listen, right? This horse won one race. It was against like the deaf and blind. It was the whole race was like a handicapped race. It was like racing half lame other horses, but it won. It pulled it out right at the end. I'm gonna tell you what, hell of a horse.
Tell you, it was more than one race, but the horse was good enough to resell for 0.25 ETH. Let me tell you, and at the time, 0.25 ETH was like $800.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a new sucker born every day. I'm telling you.
No.
I'm telling you, it would have been more effective to take that 0.25 ETH and stocked up on a bunch of ammo and then figured out where you can get into the metaverse and shoot that damn horse. You should have just shot the horse.
The only reason why that horse was redeemable, besides the fact of it's sometimes winning, right, and not winning that often, was the genetics in the horse from its parents could be passed down to future generations. So for breeding purposes, it was a very good horse. It wasn't the best racing horse, but it was a good breeding horse. Let me tell you, if you think Pinky Smalls was bad, you don't want to see the other horses I had. The other horses that were guaranteed every single time last spot.
But you couldn't bet against your own horse. Rolling the dice. You should have been able to bet against, like to basically short your horse, right? That would have been dope, because then Pinky Smalls would have been a fucking gamer. That would have been fantastic.
Everybody would become a millionaire, because everybody would just buy the dorkiest horses and just race them and bet against it.
Addison wants to say good afternoon. She just got up from her nap, and she wants to remind everybody to make sure to get your ledger, hold a hardware wallet, be smart, don't get FTX'd, as we like to say.
That's right.
She's stacked up on her ETH, and she's starting to talk more about it. You've been telling people about your Ethereum? Yeah. Ah, okay. Give me a kiss. I love you. Mwah. Can you say bye to everybody? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, there you go, baby.
Billy says, Crypto Billy says, I'm a good breeding Billy too, otherwise worthless. Long story short, this game, Undead Blocks, you don't have to go through the headaches of buying super expensive NFTs to get involved. You can win cool NFTs for free just playing the game, and build whatever it is that you need to build out in that game. It has a nice, good ecosystem going for it. We are in talks with them. Hopefully, we can work something out, and if we do, we'll definitely let you guys know.
Yeah, for sure. We're super excited. I'm hoping that does happen. And I apologize to any children that were around. I really do watch my mouth and just drop the big bomb on the show. And I apologize. That is never something that I do. I just genuinely apologize. Like I said, should have shot the horse. Okay, cool. So Bitcoin narrative flips. Let me pull this article up. I think I've got this one in the chamber. No pun intended. Right about.
Just don't miss your shot.
Research Bitcoin risk on assets under short-term pressure as macro narrative flips. So we have got the narrative in the crypto space has been what recently? It's been I mean, overall, it's been just kind of wah, wah,
Last 2 months were
boring.
pretty good, but people kind of like fizzled out on the hype of Bitcoin moving back up after getting rejected from 25K multiple times. And now people are like, uh-oh, I think we're going back down now. People are starting to panic again. Everyone's
Yeah.
talking about how March is going to be a red month, and the
Yep.
inflation might be coming in higher than expected, and the
Mhm.
Federal Reserve is going to come out and then say, hey, we're raising another 50 basis points. And so
Yep.
everybody's already starting to panic for those scenarios.
Labor markets are part of that. That the labor market, quote unquote, remains hot. They're thinking that the actual rate, the PCE data for January was 4.7, but it was expected to be 4.3, so it was a lot higher there. Higher inflation, effectively, if you don't understand this, higher inflation could see price pressure on Bitcoin and other risk on assets, or disposable income gets squeezed because we're trying to keep pace with the price of these essentials. You're trying to keep up, and so these risky assets get hurt because of that, because people aren't piling money into, they're just trying to pay their freaking bills. Like, this is a really simple idea that gets overcomplicated sometimes. It's just a reality that, hey, when interest rates are rising, when there is turmoil in the macroeconomic environment, people are paying more for everyday items, and they just don't have the extra disposable income for, we saw such a crazy run with Bitcoin, partially because we were just printing and giving away money, right? That's not something that we've seen before. We're just like, hey, pick up your check, and people are like, wait a minute, if I don't have something to do with this, I could buy some Bitcoin, great idea, I'm with it. But we're not in that environment anymore. So we're seeing some of that start to flip. Those risk on assets, including Bitcoin, are basically facing a short-term downward pressure as the inflation and the dwindling, like I said, risk appetite among the banks, because the banks are not wanting to, they're basically not wanting to provide loans out the way that they were. Obviously, it's a lot harder to pick up a loan. It's given a bunch of headwinds against price appreciation effectively. So we're gonna have to see what the old Gary Gensler says as we get more and more information from the Fed as they're deciding what the Fed and the SEC is what I meant, to see what kind of regulations come into play, and then maybe that's the next thing that's going to flip it back on its head again. I don't know. I still see downward pressure. I've been talking about it for a while. We'll see.
Yeah, regulation will definitely help, but we'll see, man. I mean, people get caught up, right? When things were pumping in January and February, everybody was excited, right? The minute things kind of just dwindle down a little bit, people get super panicky once again, and they get so zoomed in on the day-to-day, week-by-week, month-to-month price action of Bitcoin. And it's like, that's the wrong way to go about it. You got to think long-term, in the future. What are the whales doing? What are the big boys doing, right? Do you think they're panicking about the price action being rejected from 25,000 right now?
No.
Absolutely not, right? They're making long-term plans. They are working that way. They see things at the broader picture. They're not narrowing down on the day-to-day or week by week. So make sure that I know that the YouTube channels and everything is all about day-to-day, but the panic and the sentiment, right? Nothing's fundamentally changed with Bitcoin over the last year. Yeah, it experienced the bear market, but that is expected, right? And we're going to experience a bull market once again. So if you understand that those cycles are now broken, and you understand what fundamentally Bitcoin is doing and how the big boys are playing with Bitcoin and accumulating Bitcoin along with other assets too, right? This is not just about Bitcoin, crypto in general. Then there really isn't any reason to be panicking, right? Because this next month might be a red month. It should actually be a month of excitement. Red month means you got opportunities at way lower prices to accumulate larger amounts of an asset. That's what that means. It's not financial advice. I'm not telling you to go do it. I'm just telling you what the definition of a red month is. So,
and I'll tell you that there has been some other issues in the crypto space. One of them being with Algorand. Algorand has been an asset that a lot of people I know. So this is one of those altcoins that a lot of people like to ask about, like to talk about, and they've had a little bit of an issue recently. Let's talk about it. Algorand wallet.
XRP's ugly cousin.
The ugly cousin. Algorand wallet MyAlgo urges users to withdraw funds after $9.2 million exploit. The Algorand Foundation CTO said the exploit was not the result of an underlying issue with the Algorand protocol or SDK. Okay, so what happened here? Let's find out. So MyAlgo, which is an Algorand-centric wallet, had advised their users to withdraw their funds from their, I think they're called mnemonic wallets, stored in their MyAlgo after there was an attack that was worth like $9.2 million. So Bitcoin sleuth Zach XBT said that over $9.2 million was stolen between February 19th and February 21st, citing data from blockchain intelligence report TRM Labs. MyAlgo confirmed that it experienced an attack over a week ago and said that no additional movement has happened since. So the CTO, John Wood, said the attack impacted about 25 accounts, was not the result of an underlying issue with the Algorand protocol SDK, and the CTO advised the users to, quote, rekey a ledger on a third-party wallet as a precautionary measure. So, Crusader, you understand this stuff a lot better than most of us do in terms of the technical side of things. Is there simple things that we can do as a crypto investor, as we hold assets, as we mess around on exchanges, off exchanges? What's some simple things that we can do to not be a part of those 25 wallets that were exploited for $9.2 million?
Yeah, one is make sure that your wallet is, you're holding custody of your assets, right? Of your keys on your wallet. Make sure that your wallet is maybe not a hot wallet. It's most likely a cold storage wallet or a hardware wallet. It's a lot safer that way. Also, make sure that, if whatever you're connecting your wallets to or wherever you're for long-term holding, right? Like let's say a hot wallet. Let's not always use a cold storage, but let's say I have a hot wallet that I use, right? Make sure that that hot wallet is installed on a device that you don't use every single day. AKA, don't use it on your phone, right? You put it on a separate device, a separate laptop, use it on there, and make that laptop or that device strictly for long-term crypto transactions and crypto holdings. And
Okay.
don't connect to any sketchy websites. Don't download anything. Limit your access to the internet as much as possible on that device,
On that
so
device.
so that device is not exposed to any type of malware or any type of issues. Make sure the device is always turned off when you're not using it, and just keeping things secure. And what is it the government likes to call it all the time? Compartmentalizing, right?
Yeah.
Make sure that your crypto assets that are long-term holdings are over here, separated from your everyday holdings, the wallets that you connect to OpenSeas to connect and buy NFTs and trade NFTs on the day-to-day or DeFi operations, whatever it is that you're doing. Make sure you keep those separated. That's going to keep you safe very long way.
And one of the things I take for granted sometimes that people understand, and I have to look this stuff up too, SDK, they were talking about, it wasn't their SDK. That's a software, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a software development kit, right? And it effectively, Crusader, maybe you can do a better job of explaining this, but it effectively helps the developers integrate their apps with somebody else's services. I mean, is that effectively what's happened? It's like, hey,
Yeah.
I need to be able to do X, Y, and Z. And so our application, our kit is going to allow whatever needs to happen.
Exactly, right. So like the creators of the company, right, the wallet company, they create the SDK, which allows other developers like myself or anyone else jump in and say, okay, here's your development kit, and I can use this to now build something else, get some type of access, right, and work with their ecosystem, with their software. And that's what it allows. And it's the safest way to do anything without, trying to break some stuff or hack into anything. And that's just the way it's used.
Gotcha. Interesting. A1 wants to know, are there cell phones that don't have Google already attached?
Yep. You know who's an expert? They're mind your biz.
Mind
You
your
can
biz.
you can buy a phone. You can buy a phone, right? They come programmed with software on an operating system, but you can replace that operating system with something else. And I forget what it's called. There's one that's called like graphene something or something like that. I know Mind Your Biz, last time he was on the channel, he mentioned it as well. It's a different operating system that is not Google, makes everything more of a sandbox, very secure, a lot better than what the operating systems we have on Apple and Google right now. A lot more private in all aspects, and the apps can track you and do the things that they do right now with these operating systems on those other
Crypto
options.
fam,
So there are
if you've
options out
learned
there.
If you learned something today, make sure to smash that like. Make sure to jump into the Discord, get involved with Danger Close Alpha. We'd love to have you as a new guest to the platform. DangerCloseAlpha.com. We're still minting. We're still giving away vests. 5 Ethereum somebody's going to get involved. All right, so let's kind of round out the day talking about my girl, Ethereum. Let's talk about it. Ethereum edges closer to letting users withdraw staked ETH. Sepolia is the second Ethereum testnet to see a dress rehearsal for Shanghai, which will finally let users withdraw their staked ETH.
Okay. Shanghai? China?
Shanghai. The next major upgrade for Ethereum, for those of you who don't know, the question that he's asking is called Shanghai.
Coincidence?
I don't know.
Coincidence?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know where these names come from, though, because that was after a successful test run on the Sepolia testnet. Like, where do these names come from? I actually read something one time of where I don't remember. There's some sort of something.
Yeah, ETH has used a lot of. I think they had like a London hard fork as well.
Yeah, a lot of like cities. And
I don't know if that's how the elites drop their hints of what their next affiliations are at, right? Because now that you mentioned Shanghai, reminded me that just a few days ago, Hong Kong is opening back up to the crypto investing game, right? So Chinese dollars are coming back into crypto, right? And now people are already speculating that is going to be a prepared narrative, so that when China once again pulls out and pulls the plug on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, they can plummet the market further down.
It's all a game, it feels like sometimes. The upgrade is going to allow the users to withdraw their staked ETH from the network. That you haven't been able to do that since the launch of the Beacon chain in 2020. So if it was staked, it's sitting.
Dude, look at this. Look at this comment. This is something to think about. What if their next upgrade is called Wuhan?
Well, if that's the case, maybe there will be something available that you can get to upgrade, right? Upgrade your system
consistently, which is going to need more patches.
You're going to need a lot more upgrades,
a lot more patches to keep the software from leaking
forever. And I bet you there's going to be a trusty company right there, got your back to sell it to you, or maybe give it away. Yeah. Okay. So ultimately, what's happening there? That it's going to allow that Ethereum to be withdrawn from the network. You haven't been able to do that since 2020. The upgrade is set to be deployed on the mainnet in March. I don't know the exact date. That is after further testing of another one, the Goerli testnet. And these testnets, the Sepolia, the Goerli, they allow Ethereum developers to effectively launch upgrades and apps to identify and fix issues before the upgrade goes live on the mainnet. So I wondered this for a long time, because I don't get into this. Why do I need to know that they're doing all this stuff? Well, effectively, I don't know that it's so much that I need to quote unquote know that they're doing this stuff. Just know that it's happening. I don't have to understand exactly why, where, how. A lot of people don't know how to operate or write Python script, but it's there, and it's a really important piece of what is the computer world today, right? The fact is, they are just trying to make sure, like, Crusader wrote a smart contract before we released our Danger Close Alpha. He wrote it, tested it through the testnet was the Secret Soul Society, right? You guys loved it, took it and ran with it, right? Fantastic, great. But ultimately, that was the testnet. And so that's what's happening here. They're testing, make sure, hey, do other apps work here? Are there problems? Are there bugs? Are there fixes? Because once they toss it on, as I understand it, once they toss it on to the mainnet, like, everybody's in. And now if you have a problem, we're talking about like a problem, right? Are they effectively able to isolate small nodes to be able to test this? Do you know, like, the specifics
so basically,
on how they do that?
most of the time when you do software updates that are massive like that, there is a backup that if something was to go wrong, right, when you upload this update, if something is to go wrong, you can roll back the system to the previous existing code that worked and was stable, and then you can push that back up and effectively remove what was upgraded and isolate that, and then go back, fix it, do whatever changes it needs to before pushing it out again. So that's how would that work if they
it gives you a do-over.
Yeah, basically, but you have to prepare for it. Like, if you don't prepare for it and you don't keep track of those stable versions, then there is no rollback. There is a wrong way of doing it. And I'm sure companies have made those mistakes. But in the software engineering game right now, the best practices are like that. And if your company is not doing that, you're running by the seam of your pants. Let me tell you, that's going to be terrible if you don't do that, because it's, yes, Twitter Space.
Yes, we do. Okay, cool. Twitter Space tonight. That is 9 p.m. Right? Are we doing 8 or 9? We're doing 9.
No.
9 p.m.
9
p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to get involved, jump in tonight on Twitter. We'll release. Did you already have that out or no? Is it
Not
on
yet.
Twitter
We'll release it here shortly after the stream.
Okay. Yeah. So Crypto Fam, we love you. We appreciate you for being here. You could be anywhere on a Tuesday and you're hanging out with your boys. We hope that everybody has had a freaking fantastic day. Anything I'm missing, anything I'm forgetting besides smash the likes, get involved with Danger Close Alpha, follow us on all of our socials, all the things, do it. Anything else, Crusader?
No, sir. Just remember,
Right.
question
everything.
Trust nothing.
Until next time, hodl.
Like it's hot.
We'll see you soon.